The total quantity of Adams papers, the whole Adams family, which is all at the magnificent Massachusetts Historical Society on microfilm. If that microfilm were stretched out, it would reach over 5 miles. Imagine. They wrote letters in those days. It was part of life. And one of the great pleasures, the joys of doing research on some of these people from other times is to read the quality, to enjoy the quality of what they wrote. Their use of the English language, their respect for vocabulary, their appreciation of the great traditions of the English language. And that, too, let us make no mistake, is part of leadership. You have to be able to express yourself on paper or on your feet. And that is something we must insist on with the way we're educating our young people. Now, working on Truman, as I have with other of the characters that I've written about, I try to get inside their world, inside their life, to try to understand them as human beings. And when I was working on my book about Truman, I decided I would take a morning walk the way he did, to see what that was about. What did it do for him? And I'm still doing it, some nearly 25 years later. And Rosalie and I now have the great privilege of owning an apartment in Back Bay, so I am now out taking my morning walk in this city. And I have the best time imaginable saying hello, good morning, to some of my old friends, George Washington, John Glover, Charles Sumner, Abigail Adams. Then I get over toward Copley Square, and there's John Singleton Copley with his palette. I say good morning to him. I pass by Trinity Church, and there's a wonderful piece of sculpture of Phillips Brooks, and by St. Gaudens, and I say good morning to Reverend Brooks. And I feel I'm among friends. And I feel in this city that I am in one of the treasure houses of history in our country, as we all should, and so many do. History is a presence in Boston, a visible, tangible, available presence, an important presence, important not just to those of us who live here or visit here, but important to our country. Because people like John Adams, John Glover, Charles Sumner, George Washington, Phillips Brooks, John Singleton Copley, the men who marched with Colonel Shaw in the Shaw Memorial, they are people of importance to the country. They are national leaders, national figures. And history is about people, and there they are, those people from other times, still present with us every day. It's obvious that the lessons of history are manifold. Among them is that there is no such thing as the foreseeable future. Never was, never will be. They, in their time, knew no more about what tomorrow would bring than we do. And there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. Never was, never will be. We are all, and always have been, the result of many influences, of many people who have helped, who have taught, who've encouraged, who've punished, who've inspired, parents, teachers, friends, rivals, and people we never met, never knew, because they lived in those other times. But the laws they wrote, the poetry they wrote, the symphonies they composed have shaped our vision of life, our understanding of who we are in ways that we never really can fully weigh or tabulate. We are unfortunately raising a generation of Americans, maybe more than one, who are by and large historically illiterate. I see it all the time when lecturing at colleges and universities, including many of the finest in our country. And it's not their faults. It's our faults. We have to do more. We have to do more to express our interest in history to our children and to our grandchildren. We have to do more to encourage and express our appreciation to the teachers of history who are shaping these people of the next generation. We must never treat teachers as if they don't matter. Our teachers are doing the most important work of any of us because of its influence and effect in the long run. Now, here we are, not just in a city of historic importance. We are in a city of educational treasures all around us. The Boston Public Library is one of the 5 greatest libraries in the country. The Museum of Fine Arts is now one of the glittering jewels of art museums in the world, not just in the country. The Boston Symphony, on and on, the universities. Are you aware? I hope you are, I trust you are. There are 50 colleges and universities in this city. There are 250,000 students in Boston. Think of that. That doesn't just give the Boston atmosphere its life and its youth. It also means that this city is part of their education. They too are walking around this showcase of American history every day, many of them. And that's part of their education, whether they realize and appreciate it now or not. History is important in many ways. It's not easy for me to remember statistics, but I've written some of them down.